Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Pilot Brewing Company out of Charlotte, North Carolina. The only reviews I've done for them so far were their first run at barrel aged beers, but they also have been canning. I think mainly due to the pandemic. You know, they have to. A lot of breweries have been forced to do that who weren't doing it before because they need to sell product to go, of course. Um, So this Island Hopper IPA is their single hop series, which I mean they're not all from, it's not like all Australia or New Zealand hops, which Island Hopper type thing, but it's a single hop series. Each one's different hop. A lot of breweries do that, um, but this one is with Amarillo, which is definitely a pretty old school hop. If you're not familiar with it. I personally do not love it when it's by itself like this. I think it can work really well in collaboration with other hops, but I think by itself it's kind of like aspirin-y. It just has kind of an odd flavor for me. I know some other people don't get that. It's just a thing that I get. Um, but I have had ones that I know were brewed well and I appreciated. They weren't necessarily my favorite, but I thought they were well done. So I still wanted to give this a go because I know these guys make good beer, so I figured I'd give it a shot. This is 6.0 ABV, and I do have. They actually, I think they only released them like 2 weeks apart from each other. So this is the older one. That's why I'm drinking it first. But I have this one's still not old. It's only like a month old. But they did another one with Dr. Rudy hops, which I believe are New Zealand hops, but they're ones you don't see very often. So look out for that one. But so it's definitely not your classic hazy, and it doesn't say that it's a hazy IPA either. But it is a little cloudy. The head is kind of sparse, which is you don't necessarily usually see with IPAs. It's interesting. So I do get some like orange and lemony character out of this. A little bit of like earthy, cascadey characteristics, and a little bit of like biscuity and lightly caramel malt. So that is a lot better than I was expecting. I will say, and that's not has anything to do with Pilot. That's just because I don't love Amarillo or Amarillo. I don't know. I know the city is called Amarillo, but I know as far as what I've heard, almost everyone calls it Amarillo hops. Uh, it is a little bit of that lemon and orange, um, lightly citrusy, tiny bit of pineapple, but the aroma was pretty muted with those. It's a little bit bigger in the flavor, but it's also like half and half with the malt. But the malt's not as like biscuity as the aroma was suggesting. It's more just on like the nice bready line. I mean, this is one of the, and I would almost be hesitant to call this an IPA. Um, maybe because it's 6%, but honestly, to me, this is like a classic American pale ale because it is very balanced. It is not really hop driven, um, at least not in flavor. It has a decent amount of bitterness, but it's not super hop flavorful. It's pretty split 50-50 between the hops and the grain bill. So that's why I say it's more of like an American pale ale because American pale ales a lot of times the bitterness are almost as high as IPAs, but the IPA or the hop flavor is not as big. So, I'm trying to think of what it's definitely not exactly the same, but I would put this in the realm of like Sierra Nevada pale ale. I'm just thinking of some classic ones. Alpha King maybe, but it's probably not even as hoppy as that. Shoot, that's pretty bad that I can't even think of like Mirror Pond from Deschutes. I know there's definitely some other classic IPAs I'm not thinking of, or not IPAs, pale ales, and I'm kind of think that's actually pathetic, to be honest. But no, I can't think of any off the top of my head. But it really is falling in that category. So, if you want really classic, old school, earthy, bitter hop flavor, but not over the top and still nicely balanced, this would actually be a great beer to buy. You know, this is a beer that, and that's why I said it reminds me of like the classic pale ales. Is sometimes you go to a bar and they don't really have many good beers, but you can find something maybe similar to this, and that'll like perfectly satisfy you. And, you'll be like, okay, as long as I got this, I don't need anything else. Don't need a big stout. Don't need a giant hazy IPA. None of that. This is good enough. It tastes good. I don't have to think about it. This is kind of where that falls for me. I don't remember what this cost, but I think it was on the cheaper side. I think it was $4 a can individually, which means a 4-pack would probably be even less than $16. So, this is one of the most unassuming IPAs I've had in a while. And I'm guessing I do really like the malt bill for this. So I'm guessing if this was brewed with hops that I prefer more than Amarillo, I would actually really, really like it. But I'm still going to give this one a buy because I feel like I'm pretty biased enough for Amarillo that's would really be the only reason that I would say that I wouldn't buy this. I think it's very well done. It's not what the Haze Bros want at all. But if you want a really nice, easy drinking beer, it's not super strong, but has a little bit of a kick, even more than a regular pale ale. I guess it's 6%. This would fit that bill, and it's really well done. It's super clean, definitely a classic beer. But that's all their beers have. They have that classic feel to them, but they're not a classic brewery. Like they make classic beers, but they've only been open for 2 years. That doesn't mean that they can't innovate. It's just that's what they stick to, and that's in their wheelhouse, and they do a really good job of it. So that's why I support them. So I'm going to give this one a buy. I think that's all I got on this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.